Good morning and welcome to Salt Lake Community College for the start of the 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. We'd like to thank FamilyShare.com for help keeping this broadcast on the air, as FamilyShare.com is dedicated to your family with everything from ways your family can save money, engage with your children, and other inspiring family articles. Go to FamilyShare.com or visit them on Facebook, Facebook.com/FamilyShare, and like their page. FamilyShare.com, where your family comes first. So we're just about set, ready for tip. I'm Ryan Pickens broadcasting this game, and we're set for the Alta Hawks and the Lone Peak Knights to open up this first game of the 5A state tournament. So we're set and ready to go. The tip is won and controlled by Alta, and it will be controlled at the top by number 1, Mariah Martin. Alta moving the ball around the perimeter as Martin, number 1, touches it. Gets it up over the top. Here's Fair, takes it inside, kicks it back out. And a jumper for Martin is long. Rebound goes inside, and the putback is good for Elza Ferry hits the shot, and she's got 2 points, and Alta's on the board, and we're off and running here from the 5A state tournament. Lone Peak looking to break the press. It's Aubrey Wilson going hard, and an offensive foul as Wilson just lowered her head and just taken the charge for Alta, and that's going to be an early turnover here. The first team foul against the Knights, and the first going against Aubrey Wilson. Alta started Mariah Martin, Rachel McDonald, Sierra McNichol, McCall Sieverts, and there's Ferry again, couldn't get it to go, and Lone Peak's gonna get out and run. In the front court, getting down the lane, shot on the way will not count, as they'll say the foul was on the ground, as taking it to the basket was number 2, Savannah Flannery. The foul there against Alta going against number 25, McCall Sieverts, her first, and the first team foul against the Hawks. And that one's gonna be stolen away on the inbounds. It's Ferry getting it ahead. Here's Martin all the way, left-hand layup, good. So Mariah Martin gets the basket to go, and it's an early 4-0 lead for Alta. Lone Peak breaking the press, gets it inside. Rachel McDonald got her hand on it, throws it out of bounds off of the foot there of Lone Peak's number 11, Allie Smith, and so that will give the ball back to Alta. The Hawks on a 4-0 run to open this one. 6:36 to go, first quarter. Martin, number 1, with the basketball. Over to Frere, skip pass, and that was gonna be knocked out of bounds by number 22, Kelsey McCann. These two teams played back in December, and the game going to Lone Peak 67-60. It was a battle between Kelsey McCann, who had 31 points. There's Fair inside again with a turnaround jumper. Elsa Ferry has 4 of Alta's 6 points to open up this one. Alta's been willing to pressure the basketball. Inside, it's McCann. She loses the handle on it. It's a turnover. Alta running 3-on-1 the other way. It's Martin all the way. The bank shot couldn't go. The rebound's going to be ran down by McCann, and she'll run the other way for Lone Peak. Back the other way, and skip pass over Aubrey Wilson to the basket, throws up the shot. That one rolled off the rim. Rachel McDonald there for the rebound, and Alta's going to clear. The ball is loose on the ground, and it's going to be our first jump ball of the game. Possession arrow favoring the Lone Peak Knights. 5:45 to go, first quarter, 6-0 Alta. Alta in the white and Lone Peak in the visiting black uniforms, as Kelsey McCann, she'll shoot up a 3, and that one's good. Gets the back of the rim, and the roll goes down and cuts the Alta lead in half to 6-3. We've seen a very up-tempo, fast-paced game here for the first couple of minutes. Moving the basketball to the top. Here's Martin for 3 to answer, and she hits this one short. Rebound's gonna go out to, looks like that's Savannah Flannery, and she's gonna be called for a travel. She was on one side of her body and then just kind of turned to the other, and I think when she made that turn to the other, it was a traveling violation. And so that gives the ball back to Alta. Martine set to inbound, gets it in. Here's Ferry for three, and she hits again. Elsa Ferry has 7 points here in the early going to lead the Hawks. She's hit 2 little mid-range jump shots and adds a 3-point basket there. Hawks will get some substitutions to the table here. And going back to the top, it's Savannah Flannery. Flannery with it, trying to get around Sieberts, but couldn't. McCann guarded closely, and here's Savannah Flannery. Drops it in, Aubrey Wilson. Skip pass over, it's McCann for three. Quick release, and she buries it again. So Kelsey McCann with 6 points. McCann and Martine went back and forth in that matchup back in December. McCann had 31 points to lead Lone Peak to a victory. Stepping through the middle, the shot gets blocked, and Lone Peak looking to run, a chance to pull within one. It's Savannah Flannery. She couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound pulled down by Allie Smith, and McCann to tie it with a three, and she hits. Kelsey McCann's on fire in the early going. All 9 of Lone Peak's points on 3 threes, and we're tied at 9 with 3:50 to play first quarter. In the corner, it's number 35, Emma Clark, as she takes it, puts up a shot. That one was missed again, and Lone Peak looking to run. Savannah Flannery being chased by Martine, and Flannery gets the back rim, but couldn't get the shot to go. Here's a jumper on its way, and it's good. That's number 11, Allie Smith. So 11-9 Lone Peak, the Knights with their first lead of this one. 3:16 to go. Martine, number 1, with the basketball for Alta. Moving the basketball, Martine quickly picked up. Lone Peak in a 2-3 zone, skip pass over, and Ferry hits again. So Ferry with 9, and McCann with 9 as well. The 2 leading scorers in this one. Aubrey Wilson drops it inside. She comes back, she'll take a 2. That one was long, and right into the hands of Alta. Here's Martine, gets it over Rachel McDonald, steps through, left-hand layup, good. And we're gonna get a quick timeout here by the Lone Peak Knights, as all of a sudden Alta, as these 2 teams have been trading runs here, as you saw Alta get off to this nice start. Lone Peak comes back down the other way, and the Knights just find a way to answer. As we've seen already, it's setting up to be one of those games where if you're Lone Peak, if you're Alta, you have to find a way to stop Kelsey McCann. McCann with 9 of the Lone Peak 11 points, and she's hit them pretty much all from the same part of the floor. All that just kind of topped with the key 3-pointer, which has been a big shot for her so far in this one. Alta on the year coming in 16-7, 8-2 overall. Lone Peak at 15-6, 7-5. The Knights struggled against the rest of the teams that made the playoffs out of their region. And so they've struggled against playoff teams, but seems to be hanging in there pretty well right now with a 2-point lead. That was gonna be thrown away in the backcourt, but they're gonna get lucky and say it got off the hands of Alta, and so back to Lone Peak. In the front court, as Kelsey McCann, number 22, picked up immediately. She's guarded by Sierra McNichol. Drops it inside, a good defensive play for Alta, as they were able to get their hand in there and just knock the ball away. Set to inbound, and they'll get a nice, easy shot off the inbounds, but couldn't get the roll. It was Flannery again who got open inside, but couldn't get the roll. And back the other way comes the Alta Hawks. Martine, number 1, checking in the first time, number 24, Casey Blackner. 3 on the way is short, and running back the other way comes Lone Peak. Flannery pulls up for a jumper. That one was short. Rebound gonna go right into the hands of number 2 for Alta, Madison Mitchell. So Mariah Martin will pull it out and will set up the point here. Set and ready to go. McNichol with it. Here's Casey Blackner. Drops it into Martin in the corner. Looks like they're trying to look inside, but Lone Peak doing a nice job keeping the ball from getting into the post. Baseline drive, drops it inside. It's Mitchell with the bank shot off the glass is good. So Mitchell has her first bucket of the game, and Alta has a 4-point lead here. Inside, Aubrey Wilson steps through, gets her shot blocked by Mitchell. Aubrey Wilson thought she had an easy layup, but coming was Mitchell, and she blocked that one. Lone Peak looking to inbound. They get it into Flannery, and she hits the two. No, sorry, that's Allie Smith on the shot. She's got 4 points for Lone Peak. 15-13. 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Moving the basketball, it's going to be Ferry up to the top. Drops it inside. Mitchell trying to get it inside. It's stolen away by Cassidy Mogelson. And here comes Lone Peak the other way. Lone Peak down by 2. It's McCann for 3, and she hits again. 12 points for Kelsey McCann, and Alta wants a timeout with 36 seconds to go in the first quarter as Kelsey McCann, 12 points here to go in this first quarter. 12 of the Hawks 12 of the night, 16 points going to Kelsey McCann, 4 3-pointers. And once again, she hits one from right at the top of the key. Setting up to be a good day of basketball here at the state tournament. After Alta, Lone Peak, Fremont takes on West. Fremont looking to open up the defense of their state championship from a year ago. Hunter takes on Davis at 12:50. And then American Fork takes on Copper Hills. That one will be at 2:30. And then there'll be a full slate of evening games as well. As Alta brings the basketball up, will they play for the final shot here? Martin overthrows Mitchell, as Mitchell was pretty much wide open underneath the basket, but Lone Peak will have the ball, and immediately being picked up in the backcourt is McCann. Lone Peak breaks the little press. Aubrey Wilson takes it to the basket, gets her shot blocked again inside with the putback was number 33, Megan Erickson. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. Martin with the basketball at the top. Here's Blackner. Blackner skip past Martin, thought about the 3, now she'll take one, and gets the roll, hit the back iron, and it rolls in. And that's how the first quarter here from Salt Lake Community College will come to an end at the end of one here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. It's Alta 18 and the Lone Peak Knights 18.
Stats and standings are available at MaxPreps.com, the official stats partner of the UHSAA.
The start of the second quarter here from the 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament. FamilyShare.com is dedicated to your family with everything from ways your family can save money, engage with your children, and other inspiring family articles. Go to FamilyShare.com or visit them on Facebook, FamilyShare, Facebook.com/FamilyShare, and like their page. FamilyShare.com, where your family comes first. So start of the second quarter, Alta with the basketball. As we're tied at 18 and coming in down the key and running over the Lone Peak Knight was number 14, Brandy Bookout, but that's going to be an offensive foul. So the first against Bookout, that's the second team foul. We had a first quarter where relatively we didn't have any whistles. That's only the third foul of the ball game, as Aubrey Wilson will head to the bench for Lone Peak. Knights in the black, Alta in the white. As McCann with the basketball finds inside, shot goes up and it's blocked by Blackner. And now whistles fly as we have a jump ball between Blackner and Megan Erickson for Lone Peak, and possession arrow will favor the Lone Peak Knights, so they will inbound from underneath their own basket. McCann set to inbound for Lone Peak. Looking to get it in, gets it into Weichers, number 3. Weichers with it, gets it in the corner. A 3 for Flannery is short, and the rebound pulled down by Alta. And Mariah Martin quickly gets it up ahead. Here's Blackner with the basketball. Up to the top, book out. We'll get it back to Martin, and Alta will reset with 7:12 to go. 18-18 tie. And here's a 3 on the way is for Bookout is off, and the rebound pulled down by Flannery, quickly out to McCann. Alta's gonna find McCann very quickly when she touches the basketball. As she pops up another 3, and this one was short. And the rebound gonna be tipped around and finally controlled by the Hawks, and a reach-in foul coming against Lone Peak. And I believe they're gonna get Allie Weechers getting the foul, her first, and the second team foul.
Checking in for the Knights, number 15, Aubrey Wilson.
So Aubrey Wilson back in for Lone Peak. As Alta will bring up the basketball here. Alta's gonna get 3 players to the bench to check in. Martin shoots up a 3 and comes up well short. Rebound goes to Lone Peak. They're looking to run. They're running 3-on-2 down the lane, and we're gonna get looks like a foul from the behind on the reach. We'll see who they're gonna get. I believe they're gonna get Mariah Martin, her first, and it's the 3rd team foul against the Alta Hawks. Wholesale changes coming here. 3 players in for Alta. And the inbound goes up to Aubrey Wilson. Wilson gets it quickly over, drops it inside. Here's Flannery. Lone Peak willing to play that perimeter. McCann with the basketball, takes it down the lane, runs somebody over, and I believe we're gonna get an offensive foul. No, we're gonna get a foul against Alta for a block, and that was Elsa Ferry picking up the foul, her first, and the 4th team foul. One of those hardest calls there is whether that's a block or a charge, as a lot of times the call could go either way. They're gonna say that Ferry wasn't quite set when McCann came in. Bringing the ball back out is gonna be Weichers, number 3. Gets it over to McCann. McCann double team, splits the double team, takes it down the middle. On the drive, losing it in the middle, it's Sierra McNichol coming the other way for Alta. She's running 1-on-3. She'll spin down the lane, left hand, count the basket, and the foul for McNichol. So right there, just takes it right down the lane, floats it up, and gets the foul call. And that will put, that foul's gonna go against number 12, Brookel Peterson for Lone Peak. The first personal and the 3rd team foul against Lone Peak. And Sierra McNichol will head to the free throw line, where she'll have an opportunity to complete the 3-point play. And the free throw on its way is short, as it just barely hits the front of the iron. And back the other way quickly comes Lone Peak. McCann with the basketball. Dribbles it out. And we'll set up the Lone Peak offense here, looking to try to get around Ferry. That's not happening. Here's a jumper for Allie Smith, and she knocks it down. So Smith has 6 points for Alta. 20-20 tie inside. There's a layup, and it's good. Number 22. And that's number 33, Lexi Walbeck, in off the bench for Alta. Gets the shot to go. Drops inside. It's Flannery, tees up a 3, and that one was long. Rebound inside, controlled by Smith, but they're going to say she stepped on the inline, and that will be a turnover, giving the ball back into the hands of Alta with the 2-point lead. 4:58 to go before halftime. Game number 1 here from the state tournament, as Mariah Martin has the basketball. Drops it inside, drops the backdoor cut. McNichol with the layup is good. Just a beautiful way to get the ball to the high post, and then drops it backdoor for the layup. Back the other way, low peak shot gets blocked. Coming in out of nowhere with number 33, Lexi Walbeck, to send that shot in almost to the wall, back behind the rim. As right now the Alta students will let her know that she got swatted. The 3 on the way is good for Aubrey Wilson. She hits the 3 as she gets knocked down, and it cuts the lead down to 1 with 4:24 to go. Moving the basketball, drops it inside. Here's Martine. She's on the perimeter for 3. That one is off. The rebound gonna go be controlled by Low Peak. They got one girl down there. That's Aubrey Wilson. The catch, the layup is good, and Lone Peaks regain the lead behind 5 quick points by Aubrey Wilson. 25-24. Setting up here to be a good game, and another turnover, loose ball. Flannery dives for it, jump ball, possession arrow favoring the Alta Hawks. And now Alta will make some significant changes. Rachel McDonald back in. Number 14, that's Brandy Bookout, comes back in. I believe Casey Blackner checks in as well. So Alta rotating through that bench pretty good. Blackner with the basketball now. Steps through over to Martine. Martine trying to get around McCann, sends it inside. Blackner with the layup, and it rattles in. And so 3-point lead for Alta. Here's McCann down the middle. She scoops up the right-hand shot, couldn't go. Loose ball controlled by Alta, and that was Walbeck picking up the loose ball for the Hawks. Down court, underneath the basket. McDonald count the basket. They're gonna wave off the shot. They're gonna say the foul was on the ground. And we'll see who they're gonna get for the Lone Peak foul. They're gonna say with the contact here, just waiting for the official. And it's gonna be Aubrey Wilson, her second personal, and the 4th team foul. And coming in right there off the inbounds play is gonna be Brandy Bookout. She's got 4. Out Lone Peak setting up. Here's McCann wide open for 3 and hits again. 15 for Kelsey McCann, and I think all of her shots tonight have come from the same spot on the floor, just that right down the center of the court 3. Tied back up at 28. Here's the drive as Alta will set it up. Blackner down the lane, drops it back to Martine. Martine over to Bookout. Drops it inside. Blackner in the high post. She'll take the free throw line jumper, which was long. Rebound goes to inside. It's Bookout. She gets her shot blocked, but the whistle comes in. I believe they're going to get a jump ball. And they will, and the possession arrow now favors Lone Peak. There's 2 ways that call could have gone. It could have been a foul, but there what they're saying is that the other person's hand got on the ball and just kind of tied it up, as that ball nearly thrown away in the backcourt by Lone Peak. Knights will break the press, cross-court pass over to Flannery. She'll attack the basket, tries to drop it inside, and the ball goes through the legs of Megan Erickson and ends up going out of bounds to Alta with 2:15 to go. So it'd be natural to think first game of the state tournament that you would see some jitters, maybe some nerve setting in. So definitely something as we get into the 3rd and 4th quarter, you would think a lot of those nerves would go away. Cross-court pass, here's Bookout, drives down the lane. Drops it inside, going down McNichol with the shot, couldn't get it to go. Ball's tipped out of bounds, and they're gonna say it's gonna go off Lone Peak, and it will stay here with Alta. Stay here with Alta with 1:56 to play. We're gonna get a quick substitution for the Hawks. It's Elsa Farah coming in. Alta set to inbound. and they drop it inside. Kicking it out, Martine shoots up a three. That one was long. Rebound goes to McCann. She'll quickly get it up ahead to Flannery. Flannery kind of in no man's land, looking for the travel. Was Alta, no call. Open jumper for Smith is off. Rebound inside goes to Flannery. And Flannery this time travels, just moved that left foot a little too much, lost the pivot, and that will be a turnover, sending the ball back to Alta. 28-28. As number 35, Emma Clark, checks in for Lone Peak. Nobody in foul trouble here. Only 14 fouls in the first half. Blackner with the basketball, drops it inside. McDonald quickly double team, kicks it back out for Farah, and that one was short. Rebound saved right to McNichol. McNichol gets her shot blocked by McCann, and the loose ball, taking a shot from her knees there for Alta. Trying to see a number on who that was. I want to say that was Blackner. And the foul there going to go against Lone Peak's Megan Erickson. So finally the whistles come in and take the play out. And the first free throw for Blackner rolls off the rim. And now a substitution coming in. Madison Mitchell, number 2, will come in. McNichol will head to the bench. Blackner ready for her second, and this one is off as well, as it just didn't get the roll. So Kelsey McCann, number 22, with the basketball. And the Knights have gotten some good offense from her in the first half, 15 points. Going around the screen, drops it inside, looking for Erickson. She comes away with it, goes up, misses the layup. Tipped out McCann for 3, and that one was off. Rebound goes to Martine, and Alta looking to run. Cross-court pass. McDonald tries to drop it inside, she does. The layup couldn't go inside for Mitchell. So a pretty fast-paced game here in the early going of the late in the first half. Kelsey McCann, number 22, with the basketball. Trying to get around Frere. She won't here. Here's Reichers, picks it up, gets it over to Erickson. And that's Emma Clark, number 35. 20 seconds to play. Lone Peak looks content to hold for the final shot. Coming up to the top, going around the screen. Here's McCann. She steps in, loses the ball. It's a turnover. 6 seconds on the clock. Blackner going all the way, lays it up, foul, count the basket. Casey Blackner gets the shot to go. And the foul goes against Megan Erickson, the second foul against her, and the 6th team foul. Blackner, who missed a pair of free throws earlier in the game, will complete the three-point play this time. So Blackner with 5, gets up a half-court shot. McCann leaves it short. And at the end of the first half here from Salt Lake Community College, and a fast-paced game, the Alta Hawks have a 31-28 lead over the Lone Peak Knights. You're watching the 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. The start of the third quarter here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com as we get set here at the 5A Girls State Basketball Tournament, brought to you by FamilyShare.com, is dedicated to your family with everything from ways your family can save money, engage with your children, or other inspiring family articles. Go to FamilyShare.com or visit them Facebook.com/FamilyShare and like their page. FamilyShare.com, where your family comes first. Starting off here in the third quarter, the first basket goes to Elsa Farah, who hits the 3. She's got 12. And Alta has increased their lead to 5 all the way to the basket, and that one doesn't go. Rebound loose on the floor, and they're going to say it goes out of bounds to Lone Peak. So Lone Peak in the dark black uniforms, Alta in the home white uniforms. It's been a back and forth game if you're just joining us. And inside gets the layup is Allie Smith. She's got 8 so far for Lone Peak. Not a game where there was a lot of whistles in the first half. And the team's playing some pretty solid basketball here. Should be a good finish here, third and fourth quarter. Trying to drop it inside was McNichol, and loose ball going to be finally controlled by McDonald. Kicks it out. Sierra McNichol for three, and hits. So a three-point basket for Sierra McNichol. She's got 7, comes in averaging about 7 a game for Alta. Skip pass here. Here's Kelsey McCann. McCann spins past the defense, takes it down the middle, and a reach-in foul is going to be called, it looks like, from behind. We'll see who they're going to officially get with the first foul of the second half. And I believe they got Mariah Martin, her first. Here's a 3 on the way from McCann is long. Rebound's going to be tipped out of bounds by Smith. And it's actually going to stay with Alta, or with Lone Peak. So they're going to say the ball went off Alta. And so they'll get set to inbound for the Lone Peak Knights. Flannery gets it into Smith. Alta's been pretty comfortable playing a 2-3 zone, and it seemed to work for the most part. A 7-point lead here, and here's a shot by Flannery, which is short. Rebound goes to McNichol. Martin crosses the half-court line, kicks it over in the corner. Jumper on the way is good for Elsa Fair. 14 points for Farah tonight, and a 9-point lead for the Hawks. Smith with the basketball over to Kelsey McCann. McCann skip pass. And she's got the basketball at the top of the key. Picks up her dribble. Now is going to get cross court to Aubrey Smith. Inside, here's McCann for 3, and that one was short. Hit back rim. Rebound goes to Lone Peak, but they're going to get a foul, I believe, on Rachel McDonald, number 23. And that's going to be Rachel McDonald's first. And it's going to be the second team foul against Alta here in the second half. Flannery to shoot 2 at the line, and she buries the first. Lone Peak coming into this one, back-to-back losses to end their season against Westlake and American Fort. And the free throw is good for Flannery. She's got 2. So Flannery will go to the bench. Allie Wickers comes back in for Lone Peak. 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Down the lane and stepping in, Mariah Martin throws off a shot, doesn't get it to go. No call either. Back the other way, Lone Peak's running, and the layup is good for Aubrey Wilson. So Wilson at her average was 7 a game, and Lone Peak on a quick 4-0 run to cut back within 5. Drops, trying to get it inside, and McDonald was Martin, but that one goes out of bounds for a turnover. So it's just kind of been a game like this where we've seen Lone Peak have their runs, and Alta has had their kind of runs. Right now in the middle of a Lone Peak run. Aubrey Wilson, number 15, gets it in the middle to McCann. And a 10-second violation. That's going to be a turnover. You have 10 seconds from when you inbound to get it across the half-court line. If you don't, it's a turnover. The other team gets the basketball. And so right there, it's going to be a turnover and send the ball back to the Alta Hawks. So the 2 turnovers cancel each other out in the end. And the Hawks have the basketball in their white uniforms. Drop it inside. Here's Madison Mitchell. She lays it in for 2.
Madison Mitchell.
Mitchell on the night with 4 points. And getting an open shot to Aubrey Wilson, and that's the one was long. Rebound ran down by Martin. Alta looking to go right to the basket. Martin pulls up, finds in the middle, wide open jumper left well short. Rebounded though by the Hawks, and that's Elsa Ferry. And the ball's gonna go out of bounds, and they're gonna say it's gonna go stay here with Alta. 4:47 to go, third quarter. Megan Erickson in the game, and Savannah Flannery check in for Lone Peak. 41-34 Alta. In the opening game of the 5A Girls State Tournament, West and Fremont to follow. Martin with the basketball, number 1, gets it into the high post. Here's Sierra McNichol. McNichol drops the baseline. Coming back to the top, Casey Blackner in the ball game. Double dribble. Saw her pick it up, and she went to dribble again. My initial thought was, I thought she picked it up, and she did. So 4:33 to go, and the Hawks are at least third turnover of the quarter. Weicher's trying to get it across the century mark. She's got to get it across half court, close to another 10-second call. Lone Peak's able to break it. They find Aubrey Wilson, who misses a three. Rebounded, though, by Weichers, who comes flying in but couldn't get the layup. Erickson with the follow, capped the basket and the foul. Megan Erickson in the right place at the right time. Gets the basket to go, also gets the foul, and the foul goes against Madison Mitchell. Erickson on the night with 4 points, and she hits the free throw. Erickson now with 5, and Lone Peak cuts back within 4. Bookout back in for Alta. Also looks like Wallback gonna come back in for Alta as well. 4:14 to go. It's expected to be a good one here between Alta and Pleasant and Lone Peak. Moving the basketball here, number 10 in for Alta for the first time tonight. That's Stephanie Brynelson. And here's Mariah Martin. She thought about the three. She won't shoot it. She'll set up the Hawks offense here. Drives down the lane. Martin drops it back. She'll come back to the three-point line where she'll recollect the ball again. Trying to get around, gets in the lane, drops it inside, stolen by Erickson. Up ahead, here comes Wilson. One-on-one to the basket, she lays it up and in. So Aubrey Wilson with 9, and it's a 2-point game here late as we get approaching late third quarter. Up to the top, Martin, number 1 with the basketball. Drops it inside. Alta's wanted to play that inside game quite a bit today against Lone Peak. Wilson reaching in, almost forces the jump ball. Here's Brynelson, she cuts through the key. She goes down, there's gonna be a push here, they're gonna say, against Lone Peak, which caused Brynelson to go to the ground. And they're gonna get Savannah Flannery with the foul, her first team foul of the third quarter. Alta set to inbound with Mariah Martin, gets it into Brynelson. Brynelson cuts down the lane. Her shot goes up, and I believe it got deflected by Aubrey Wilson there. I'm gonna say, because the ball kind of took a weird path. And the ball's gonna go out of bounds, and here's Rachel McDonald, number 23. She'll take a long two, and she hits. McDonald tonight's been relatively quiet, averages 8 points a ball game. Has 4 tonight for Alta. Back the other way, it's Weicher's taking it all the way, and she is fouled. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Alta Hawks. And here, they're gonna get Brandy Bookout with her second personal, and the 4th team foul against Alta. So Megan Erickson will take a seat for Lone Peak. And the Knights set to inbound, they get it to Aubrey Wilson. McCann back in, wide open underneath the basket was Weicher. She gets her shot blocked, tries to save it, but they're gonna say it goes out of bounds off Alta, and then when it hits the backboard, it's considered out of bounds. So they're gonna say that Lone Peak, when they threw it back into play, it went off of Alta and then touched the backboard. McCann set to inbound, finds Flannery cutting to the basket. McDonald sends the rejection home. Blockner the other way. She goes for the layup, and she is fouled, and she's heading back to the free throw line. So Aubrey Wilson picks up the foul, her 3rd personal, 2nd team foul, and Blockner heads to the free throw line with 2:41 to play. Sorry, that's Brandy Bookout, number 14 at the line, and Bookout misses the first. And so Bookout misses the first free throw. Free throws become huge, especially late in the ball game. And the second free throw is on its way, and it is long and off again. Rebound pulled down by Emma Clark for Lone Peak. McCann into the front court. She's gonna pull up along 2. That one rolled off the rim. Martin pulls the rebound for Alta. Hawks setting up their offense here with a 4-point lead. Moving the basketball back to the top. It's McDonald, finds Martin on the back cut. She lays it up and missed it. McCann pulls the rebound, and Lone Peak quickly the other way. Up into the front court, Emma Clark back for a three on its way, and she's fouled. It was Weichers who gets fouled as she was shooting the three-pointer, so she'll head to the free throw line and shoot three. And the foul there gonna go against Lexi Walbeck. And now it's gonna send Weichers to the line for three. Chance to pull Lone Peak back within one if she hits all three, and the first one's good. Lone Peak's last championship came back in 1999. Looking here to get out of the first round, and the free throw is good as well. The winner of this one gets the winner of the next game, Fremont against West. That one's scheduled to tip at 11:10. And so that will become a very big matchup. Fremont, the defending 5A champions, looking to start their defense of their state championship. And the free throw, the third one is off, and the rebound comes here to the Hawks. So 43-41, 2 minutes to play, third quarter. And that one's thrown away. Martine thought her teammate was there, but she wasn't. Back the other way, and pulling the basketball out was Allie Smith, and she throws it away. So turnovers again. Watch out from behind, and the reach-in fouls. Weichers comes in and just got a little too much contact there. She was trailing the play. She was trying to get there to make the play. So the second foul against Wickers. 1:43 to go. Mariah Martine set to inbound. Taking it to the basket, and the shot goes up, a block by McCann. As taking the shot was Elsa Ferry, and that one just got sent back by McCann, and she'll go take a rest with 1:40 to go. McCann's been quiet in the third quarter for Lone Peak. 15 points though overall tonight. McDonald with it in the high post, drops it back to Martine. Martine set, drops the baseline. McDonald with it on the high post, guarded by Erickson. Drops it back to Martine. Martine takes it to the basket, pulls up, the shot goes long. Rebound tipped her out and controlled finally by Martine. Wickers reaches in and knocks it away. Loose ball, jump ball, and possession arrow favoring Lone Peak. If it is a jump ball here, is there's 3 Knights on the ground, and it will be Lone Peak basketball here. And quickly back in the game will be Kelsey McCann. So McCann takes about a 20-second rest, and now she's back in the ball game with 1:10 to go. As it's going to be Savannah Flannery in the backcourt. She's trapped. Altas like to run the trap, especially coming out of timeouts or dead balls. McCann with it, cross court to Flannery. Flannery had a couple people underneath the basket on a back cut, but didn't pass it. Here's McCann with the jumper, she hits. The first time tonight we've seen Kelsey McCann hit a 2-point basket, and we're tied at 43 with 44 seconds to play in the third quarter. Martine with the basketball. Pulls it back out, trying to get around Wickers. Book out down the lane. Guarded very tightly by McCann. McDonald with it on the elbow. Drops it back, and here's a drive down the lane and a layup for Brandy Bookout. Bookout with 6, right back the other way comes Lone Peak. Smith with it in the corner. Pass is tipped, but they get it to Flannery. Flannery drops it in the corners for Smith for 3 is off. Rebound goes to Alta. They got 10 seconds in the quarter. Martine with the basketball into the front court, 5 on the clock. Martine's got to do something with it. Gets a 3 on the way for Ferry, is short. And that's the way the third quarter is going to come to an end here at Salt Lake Community College. We are setting up to have quite the fourth quarter here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. At the end of 3 from Salt Lake Community College, it's Alta 45, Lone Peak 43. You're watching the 5A Girls High School Basketball State Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Today's event is being streamed live online and will be available for replay RPT is a proud sponsor of high school activities. Visit rptonline.com for more information. RPT, providing 40 years of exceptional patient care.
The start of the fourth quarter here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com as it opens up the 5A Girls State Tournament here from Salt Lake Community College. We'd like to thank FamilyShare.com for helping make this broadcast possible. FamilyShare.com is dedicated to your family with everything from ways your family can save money, engage with your children, and other inspiring family articles. Go to FamilyShare.com or visit them on Facebook.com/FamilyShare. So start of the fourth quarter here as Sierra McNichol takes it right to the basket. And she gets a foul call against Lone Peak's Kelsey McCann with a block. Now we are set just about ready to go for what should be a good finish. The Alta Hawks having a 2-point lead as Sierra McNichol heads to the free throw line, and her first free throw on its way is good. McNichol with 8 points tonight this morning for Alta. And the second one on its way is nothing but net as well. So 9 overall points here, and right back the other way. Lone Peak hasn't wasted any time getting the ball down the court, and we're gonna have a whistle blown here. I'm trying to see what the whistle, and there it looks like Allie Smith's gonna have to go to the bench for Lone Peak. I'm not sure what it was, if there was, looks like she's got a cut or something. So she'll come out of the game real quick. They'll get everything taken care of. Night basketball here, 47-43. Aubrey Wilson with the basketball. Savannah Flannery, number 2, guarded in that 2-3 zone at the top. Lone Peak drives in the corner, picked up in the double team, and the Knights will move it around the perimeter. Here's McCann, number 22. She gets down on the ground. She has to do something with the ball. And we're gonna get a timeout, Lone Peak, with 7:19 to go. Plenty of timeouts for both teams. Lone Peak now has 3. Alta has 4 remaining with 7:19 to go. And setting up to be quite the first day of basketball here at the Girls 5A State Tournament. The 4A Girls Tournament begins tomorrow. You see that here at KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. And of course, you can see it live at Salt Lake Community College. So 7:19 to go. You would have to think if you're Lone Peak, you're going to want that ball in the hands of Kelsey McCann. 17 points tonight for McCann. She comes in averaging 19. The interesting thing is Mariah Martin comes in averaging 13, almost 14 a game. And she only has 5 points tonight for Alta. So Lone Peak's done a nice job of keeping the leading scorer for Alta contained. But at the same time, the other role players for Alta have really stepped up and made a lot of things happen. And right now, that's given the Alta Hawks a 4-point advantage as we get ready to end the fourth quarter here as we get ready here for the conclusion of this one. So, very exciting day to open up this tournament. Great first game, as games will be going all the way. The last one scheduled to tip at 9:10 tonight here from Salt Lake Community College. So it'll be a very full day of basketball here in Taylorsville. So Lone Peak with the basketball as Aubrey Wilson has it on the wing, drops it inside. Here's Flannery, hits a 2. A long 2 there for Savannah Flannery. She's got 4 for Lone Peak, and the Knights are back within 2 with 7 minutes to play. Martin, number 1, with the basketball. Drops it inside, Blockner in the high post. Martin trying to get around Wickers, does. Throws off a shot, it misses long. Rebound gonna be tipped around and controlled. Mitchell with the putback. Doesn't get the roll, it rolled right off the rim. Into the hands of Kelsey McCann. Up ahead, down the middle of the lane. They kick it, here's Flannery again. Flannery drives down the lane, floats it up, no. Second attempt, good for Megan Erickson. So Erickson gets it to go. She's got 7, and we're locked at 47 with 6:24 to play. Martin with the basketball. Martin looking to Down the lane, here's Blackner. And down the lane with a layup is good. And that is Sierra McNichol. And Alta regains their lead back to 2 with under 6 to go. And going back the other way, and they get the basket to go, and that's going to be 2 for Savannah Flannery. So Flannery gets the 2 to go, back locked up at 49. Down the lane, and that one doesn't go. Loose ball going to be controlled by McCann. Alta's picked up McCann almost immediately whenever she touches the ball, no matter where she's at on the court. Down the middle, McCann gets in the key, and they're going to call a foul against Alta. Looks like they're going to say someone held her as she came down the key with 5:28 to go. And they're going to get Casey Blackner, number 24, with the foul for the Alta Hawks. So that's the 16th foul against Alta. So the next foul against the Hawks, and Lone Peak's in the bonus and will shoot free throws on fouls. Wilson tries to drop it inside, gets it in. Here's a jumper, which is off there for Lone Peak. And right back the other way comes Alta with a chance to regain the lead. Martin going to the basket, drops it back. Here's a 3, and that one was short. Rebounded inside by Farah, who took the shot, gets it inside. McDonald gets her shot blocked, and they're going to say out of bounds off of Lone Peak. So the ball there just kind of kept getting tipped around, and finally just ended up going out of bounds with 5:01 to play. Alta in the white, Lone Peak in the black. Alta set to inbound the basketball. Gets it inside, and there's Farah, couldn't get the shot to go. Loose ball. And now we're gonna have a jump ball before the ball goes out of bounds. Had Megan Erickson for Lone Peak just let McDonald go, McDonald would have gone out of bounds, but right there, instead it's a jump ball, possession arrow favoring Lone Peak. Lone Peak basketball, Alta again in the press. This time Wickers breaks the press easy. Aubrey Wilson takes it to the basket, shoots up a shot, that one doesn't go. And whistles blow, and the ball's gonna go out of bounds to Alta. Right there, as the case being pleaded by Lone Peak here is that the ball got tipped, but in the end of the day, it's going to be Alta basketball with 4:40 to play. 4:40 to play here in game number 1 of the state tournament. Back to the top. Here's Martin. Martin lowers her head, takes it down, and they're going to get a foul as Martin got lucky because she dribbled the ball, it looked like off her own leg. But instead, they're going to get a foul against Lone Peak, and they're going to get Allie Wickers for her 3rd, and the 15th foul against the Knights. McDonald with the basketball, comes back to get it. Here's Martin. Martin in the high post, over to Blackner. Martin will come back and get it. Martin, number 1, dribbles through and almost throws the ball away. Loose ball is going to be tied up again, it looks like here. And instead, we're going to get a foul, it looks like, against Alta, and we are. That's the 17th foul against Alta. So Lone Peak will go down, and they'll shoot free throws here with 4:12 to go as they're now in the bonus. The foul there goes against number 24, Casey Blackner. Blackner's 2nd personal, and so now Savannah Flannery will shoot a 1-and-1 on the other end. Flannery wearing number 2. And the free throw hits front rim and gets the shooter's touch. So the first one is good for Flannery. She's got 7. And Lone Peak regains a 50-49 lead on Alta. Flannery's 2nd is on its way, and that one rolled in as well. So 8 points tonight for Savannah Flannery. And Alta playing from behind here with 4:04 to go, 4th quarter. Blackner with it in the high post. Moving it over to Martin. Martin to Blackner. Blackner steps through, comes down the lane, almost lost it, try to get it back out to Martin. She cuts in, Blackner for 2 and hits. So a big basket there to tie it back up. Lone Peak right back the other way, and the ball's knocked out of bounds, and that's gonna stay with Lone Peak. Now, the good news is there for Alta, they did knock the ball out of bounds because Megan Erickson was going wide open to the basket for Lone Peak. 3:40 to go. In the corner, it's McCann for three, and she buries it. She's been quiet in the second half, but she hits her first three, and we got a timeout. Lone Peak with 3:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Or sorry, Alta calls the timeout with 3:31 to go. Kelsey McCann, 20 points right now to lead the Knights, and they have a lead. We're going to take just a quick break, and then we'll come back here after the timeout on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
The West's largest selection in stock at Les Schwab. They want to earn your business. Les Schwab Tire Centers, home of the best tire value promise. The Deseret News sponsors the team trophies for all UHSAA championships. The Deseret News Awards presentation will be held on Saturday following the championship game.
The fourth quarter of the first game of the 5A Girls State Tournament, brought to you by FamilyShare.com. We thank them for helping out with the 5A Girls State Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. So Martine sets, she drives to the basket, floats one up underneath the basket, couldn't get it to go, and Lone Peak with a chance to extend their lead here late. McCann gets it up into the front court. It's Wickers down the lane, drops it to Erickson, and Lone Peak will pull it back out with 3:06 to go. McCann with the basketball, trying to go around Sieverts. And the Knights will pull it back out. Here's Flannery. Cross-court pass. Back into the hands of McCann. She cuts down the lane. Here's Savannah Flannery for two, and she hits. A big shot for Flannery. She's now got 10, and Lone Peak a 5-point lead with under 3 to play. Which players late in this game are going to step up? Back to the top. We got a foul, and I believe that's an offensive foul against Alta. And that is not the time you want an offensive foul. The 8th team foul. Trying to see here who they officially got. They get number 33, Lexi Walbeck. And so now with 2:32 to go, they won't shoot free throws on that offensive foul. It's only defensive. Only fouls against the defense where they will shoot free throws. So Alta wants to talk about it again here with 2:32 to go. 56-51. As right now it's been Kelsey McCann have 20-point performance for Lone Peak. A quiet third quarter, but she's come on here, hit that big three to put Lone Peak up. As the Knights both teams have played a very solid game. But now at the next 2:32 will decide who will move on and play who will play on Wednesday night in the quarterfinals. That game will start at 7:30. It will either be the winner of this one gets the winner of Fremont or West. That game coming up at 11:10, about a half hour from now. Tonight's games, it will be Granger, the number 2 seed from Region 2. They'll take on the number 3 seed from Region 1, Beaumont. That one at 4:10. Then Region 4 number 1 seed Riverton takes on Bingham at 5:50. Number 3 seed number 1 Brighton will take on Westlake at 7:30. And to close out the night, it will be the number 2 seed from Region 1, the Leighton Lancers, taking on the Taylorsville Warriors. That one tips at 9:10 tonight. But before we worry about any other games, we have 2:32 to go in this first game. Lone Peak and Alta. It should be an exciting finish. Alta's going to press in the backcourt, and they're going to force a turnover. The ball got tipped, and Rachel McDonald comes to get it. Lone Peak has struggled tonight at times with breaking the press. Into the front court, McNichol. Here's Martine with the basketball. Martine looking to go to the basket, drops it back. Here's McDonald. McDonald guarded by Erickson. Drops it here, Martin down the lane. We have a whistle, and I believe we're gonna get a timeout Alta with 2:07 to go. So that now leaves Alta with 2 timeouts. Lone Peak has 2 timeouts. You're allowed five timeouts in a game. You're allowed 3 full timeouts, so a 60-second timeout, and then you're allowed 2 30-second timeouts. This is a 30-second timeout here. As both these teams here, it's going to be key to see if Lone Peak can break the Alta press. If they can break the press, they're going to have a good chance of being able to win this game. There's a couple of different ways you could play it if you're Lone Peak. You could slow the game down and make Alta play defense and eventually just have to foul you and put you on the free throw line. Or what you could do is you could go ahead and you could just play defense and hope you can force a turnover. With 2 minutes to go, it's not exactly necessarily a good or bad thing either way. It's really just kind of up to your choice as to whether or not you want to play defense or foul. You wouldn't foul with 2 minutes to go, but as we get later on in the game, you have to think if you're Lone Peak that Kelsey McCann, number 22, is going to be touching the ball quite a bit. For Alta, on the other hand, Mariah Martin, their leading scorer, has had a relatively quiet day. Elsa Ferrer has stepped up big time tonight. She has 14 points, came in averaging about a little over 9 a game. So you have to think those 2 players will be touching the ball heavily down the stretch. So set and ready to go. Alta set to inbound. It's Rachel McDonald in the corner. McDonald gets it back up top to Martin. Miss Sierra McNichol on the perimeter. Drops it back to McDonald. Down the lane, it's Bookout. She's taking it to the basket. She's fouled. Count the basket and the foul. Brandy Bookout just took it right down the lane, got the foul, got the basket to go and the foul. They're gonna get Megan Erickson with the foul, and that's her 3rd. The 6th team foul against the Lone Peak Knights. So Bookout, a big free throw here, 56-53. Bookout hits the free throw. 9 points for Bookout. And it's a 2-point game as McCall Sieverts comes in for Alta. Bookout to go back to the bench. So maybe exchanging offense for defense here if you're Coach Sean Yeager. McCann touches the basketball. Gets it in, guarded by Sieverts. Looking to do something, crosses the half-court mark. And now with 1:40 to go, Lone Peak has control. No shot clock in Utah High School basketball. So potentially Lone Peak can hold it for the next minute 34. Wicker's trapped in the corner and timeout Lone Peak. So not a spot you want to get trapped in. First off is the corner. Any corners, especially late in the game, you want to keep the ball out of. You would rather keep it in the middle where there's a lot more real estate to work with, because essentially if you're trapped in the corner there, like Wickers was, the sideline becomes an extra defender, which means at that point then, all you have to do is play defense on, one or two sides, and you have them trapped in the corner and you get a 5-second call. So a very smart timeout there by Lone Peak and Coach Nancy Walker as the Knights look to win their 2nd game against Alta this year. Back on December 5th, 31 from Kelsey McCann led Lone Peak to a victory over Alta. And Lone Peak looking to try to advance to the quarterfinals of the state tournament to be played on Wednesday night. So McCann set to inbound for Lone Peak. Having a hard time getting in, will barely get it into Erickson before the 5-second call. McCann to get it in the corner. Drops it in, Erickson underneath the basket, they'll pull it back out. A smart play there to either take the shot or pull it out if you're Lone Peak and they pull it out. McCann comes back to get it. She's going to be double teamed. Gets it in the middle. Erickson over, and they'll reset back out to McCann. Cutting into the middle. It's Flannery on the 3-point line. Wickers pulls it back, gives it to Flannery. Flannery drives and sets it back to Aubrey Wilson. Lone Peak looking here just to try to run time down and probably send a foul. McCann drives through the middle, drops it back to Wilson. Alta having to run around a lot here trying to play defense. Drops it back, here's McCann. Going for the steal, Alta doesn't get it. Flannery with the ball in the corner, and Rachel McDonald's gonna get there and foul. with 38.6. So a good 50 seconds comes off the clock there if you're Lone Peak. And the second foul against Rachel McDonald. Second foul and the 19th foul. So Savannah Flannery will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Flannery on her last trip to the line made a pair. She's made 4 free throws on the day. And her first is short, she missed it. So Alta a chance to tie with a 2 or a 3 to take the lead with 34 seconds to go. Alta with 2 timeouts. McDonald with it in the high post. McNichol on the back cut, gets it inside. The shot goes up and she missed it. Ball's out of bounds off of Alta. From my vantage point here, it looked like Lone Peak tipped it, or at least got some contact, but whether that happened whether that was the last contact before it went out of bounds or not, that's the question. So 23 seconds, you would think try to go for a quick steal, and then if not, you'll have to foul. Weiker's with it, and Martine just pulls on the jersey in the backcourt, and that's the 10th team foul. So now Lone Peak shoots 2 automatically, and it's going to be Allie Weiker's going to the free throw line. And the foul there going against Mariah Martine for Alta. So a big 2 free throws here for Wickers to make this a 2-possession game if she sinks both. The first one on its way and missed it. Hit the back rim, so Bookout back in. McNichol back in for Alta here. 21 seconds. With the free throw, it's still a 1-possession game. Free throw on its way, and it's good. Back the other way, Martine down by 3, timeout Alta as they get into the front court with 18 seconds to play. The Hawks want to talk about it here, and you have to think that they're probably going to try to set up a 3 with the night that Elsa Fair is having. You would think that there's a chance that they're going to go there for a 3. She had a couple of them in the first quarter for Alta, but she's been quiet in the second half. So you do kind of have to have, the thought here, do we go to the player we know can get it done, or are we going to the player that has the hot hand? That's always got to be a coach's dilemma, I would think, as to which one do we go to. Big players do step up and make the plays at just the right time for both teams. And so 18 seconds to go. We'll see here what Alta is trying to draw up here. The Hawks' last championship came in 2011. And they're looking to try to advance to get the winner of West and Fremont. They're both waiting down to take the court after this one, as they are waiting down by the doors entering the gym here at Salt Lake Community College. And now Alta and Lone Peak break their timeouts here. Lone Peak looking to hold on up by 3. Alta looking to try to tie with 18 seconds to go. Martine will inbound for Alta. Megan McCann, or Kelsey McCann, will pressure Martine inbounding it. Looking to try to get it in. She does, gets in it. Fair loses the ball, and I think the Hawks have it. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Alta. That almost went out of bounds and would have been a turnover, but luckily the held ball, and Alta wants another timeout here with 16.6 to go. I do want to thank FamilyShare.com for helping make this broadcast possible tonight. And I guess I should say this morning, I'm so used to doing games at 7 o'clock at night that, I do know it's, 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning. It's almost 11, so I do know that. But right now, as everyone gets ready to go, 57-54, quick 30-second timeout. Alta doesn't have any timeouts. Lone Peak has 1 remaining here, as this one's about to come down to an exciting finish here, as Lone Peak has broken their timeout. Alta's just about ready to come back on the floor. Martine will be set to inbound. McCann again pressuring the inbound. They get it in immediately. Back to Martine. Martine trying to throw up a 3. She does it, it's short. And I don't think Lone Peak touched it. And they're going to say it did. They're going to say it did, that McCann got pieces of it and goes out of bounds. And they're going to give the ball to Alta with 10 seconds left. Kelsey McCann is just kind of throwing her hands like what? I didn't touch the ball. Alta with one more chance. Martine trying to get it in. Throws it away. McCann with the steal in the backcourt. She'll have to be fouled with 8.1. And now a chance to seal the game. Kelsey McCann heading to the free throw line. The Lone Peak faithful excited about the play. McCann still has a couple of free throws to hit. One free throw here by McCann makes it a 2-possession game. And McCann's free throw on its way is good. So McCann with 21 points. A 2-possession game. Alta's gonna have to get down the court and probably shoot up a quick 3. 58-54, the free throw is good for McCann. McCann with 22. It's Martine in the front court. She throws up a 3, banks it in. A big 3 for Martine. And the clock expires, and the Lone Peak Knights are able to advance out of the first round of the 2015 Class 5A Utah State Basketball Tournament for girls as they get a 59-57 win over the Alta Hawks. Alta having a very good season, finishing 16-8, coming out of region number 3, the number 2 seed to region. The Lone Peak Knights, though, are heading on. They'll play in the quarterfinals on Wednesday night at 7:30 against the winner of the next game. Fremont, the defending 5A state champions, take on West. And that game will be coming up in a little over 15 minutes away right here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.